In the year 1689, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj's son Dharmavir Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj was captured by the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb, and over the course of 40 days, Sambhaji Maharaj was brutally tortured to death. Sambhaji Maharaj's wife Yesubai and Sambhaji Maharaj's young son Shahu were captured by Aurangzeb's Sardar Zulfikar Khan. Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj was succeeded by his brother Chhatrapati Rajaram Maharaj, who kept the dream of Swarajya alive. However, in the year 1700, Rajaram Maharaj passed away. Now the Maratha throne had no Chhatrapati, and the Maratha empire that spanned from Maharashtra to Tamil Nadu shrank to 3 to 4 districts. And then came Shrimant Balaji Vishwanath Bhatt Peshwa, who resurrected and who rejuvenated the Maratha empire. Today I am going to talk about Balaji Vishwanath Bhatt Peshwa, the fourth Peshwa of the Maratha Empire from 1713 to 1720. It was because of his contribution that the Maratha Empire regained the position as a sovereign Indian empire. In the year 1700, Chhatrapati Rajaram Maharaj passed away, and then his wife Queen Tarabai took control of the remaining Maratha Empire. And along with her Sardars Dhanaji Jadhav, Khandopallad Chitnis, Balaji Vishwanath Bhatt and many others, she started to recapture the Maratha Empire's territory and expand its borders. Now in the year 1707, Alamgir Aurangzeb, the Mughal emperor, he died, and his 3 sons fought in a war of succession. Now initially, the younger son Azam Shah, he proclaimed himself the Mughal emperor, and he also sat on the throne of the Mughal empire. And when he did, he decided to release Shahu. As you have already learned, Shahu was the son of Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj, who was captured by the Mughal Empire after the execution of Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj. Now you all must be thinking, why is he releasing Shahu? Well, because Azam Shah knew that the Maratha Rani wanted to place her young son Shivaji II on the throne, and if Shahu is released, there would be a dispute, no, more like a clash or conflict between Shahu and the Maratha Rani, and the Maratha Empire would crumble. So he executed his decision. And by the way, Azam Shah was not lucky at all. He didn't sit on that throne for long. His brother Bahadur Shah, so the eldest son of Aurangzeb, he killed him, and he also killed Aurangzeb's youngest son Kambaksh. And finally Bahadur Shah became the Mughal emperor in 1707. So now let's continue with Shahu. So Shahu was released, and for about an year there was a small type of war, Shahu versus the Maratha Rani. So in the year 1708, the Maratha Rani sent her Sardar Balaji Vishwanath Bhatt and her Senapati Dhanaji Jadhav to go and attack Shahu in a place called Khed. And when they went there, they did not attack him. They proclaimed him the rightful Chhatrapati of the Maratha throne, and Chhatrapati Shahuji Maharaj sat on the Maratha throne. Chhatrapati Shahuji Maharaj promoted Balaji Vishwanath Bhatt, who was just a normal Sardar, to Sena Karte, recruiter of armies. And now what happened to the Rani? Well, the Rani and her young son went to Kolhapur and established the Kolhapur state over there. In the year 1712, Kanoji Angre, the naval commander of the Maratha Empire, joined the Kolhapur state, and he also captured some of the Maratha Empire's naval forts. Shahu Maharaj sent his Peshwa Bahiro Pant Pingade to go and attack Kanoji Angre. However, Kanoji's army was damn strong, and Kanoji captured the Peshwa. That is when Shahu Maharaj turned to his loyal minister Balaji Vishwanath Bhatt, and Balaji Vishwanath was made the new Peshwa of the Maratha Empire in November 1713. Now Balaji was told to go and attack Kanoji Angre. However, Balaji did not attack Kanoji. He went and told him, Kanoji, you are the son of Tukoji Angre, who served Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. And now Shivaji Maharaj's eldest grandson is sitting on the Maratha throne. So then why are you changing sides? After some negotiation, Kanoji Angre was finally recruited to Shahu's side, and Balaji Vishwanath Bhatt Peshwa had proved himself worthy of being the Peshwa of the Maratha Empire. Now let's keep the Maratha Empire aside for some time and let's learn about the Mughal emperors. As you know, in the year 1707, Bahadur Shah became the Mughal emperor. He ruled till 1712. Now, after Bahadur Shah, his three sons fought in a war of succession. The eldest son, Muizuddin Jahandar Shah, killed his younger brothers Azimur Shan and Rafiu Shan, and he became the Mughal emperor. After he became the emperor, he decided to kill Azimur Shan's two sons, Karim Khan and Farrukh Sir, so that he could secure his place as the emperor. Yeah, you heard me right, kill his own nephews, you can say. So he successfully killed Karim Khan. However, Farrukh Sir allied with the Sayyids of Barha, Sayyid Abdullah Khan and Sayyid Hussain Ali. The Sayyids of Barha had helped Bahadur Shah to win the war of succession. So along with his new allies, Farrukh Sir went and he imprisoned Jahandar Shah and became the Mughal emperor. Now naturally, obviously he would want to avenge his father and his brother, so he killed Jahandar Shah. Now he promoted Abdullah Khan to Wazir, and he promoted Hussain Ali to Mir Bakshi, and the new promoted two Sayyids of Barha, they slowly started to take control over the Mughal throne. So Farrukh Sir reigned from 1713 to 1719. However, he was just reigning. The ones who were ruling were the Sayyids of Barha. As the Sayyid brothers grew in power, Farrukh Sir decided to kill the Sayyid brothers. He started to plot assassinations to kill the Sayyid brothers. Kill those people because of whom he was sitting on that throne. And the Sayyid brothers, well, they were well aware of Farrukh Sir's deeds, and they were also thinking of ways to depose Farrukh Sir. Now Sayyid Hussain Ali, who was the Mughal Mir Bakshi, became the Mughal viceroy of the Deccan, and he decided to use the Marathas' help to depose Farrukh Sir. So he signed a treaty with Balaji Vishwanath Bhatt Peshwa. The treaty goes as follows. Balaji Vishwanath Bhatt Peshwa asked for the Chauth and Sardesh Mukhi taxes to be paid to the Marathas, equivalent to 6 districts. Next, the Maratha royal family that was captured by the Mughals in 1689 was to be released. Yes, the royal family which was captured so many years back. Yesubai Sahib, the mother of Shahu Maharaj, was still under captivity. So the royal family had to be released. Then in turn, the Marathas would pay a small amount to the Mughal emperor, and the Marathas would provide an army, and that army would march along with Sayyid Hussain Ali to Delhi. So a strong Maratha army headed by Balaji Vishwanath Bhatt, his 18-year-old son Bajirao Ballad, Balaji Bhanu, Santaji Bhosle, Malhar Rao Holkar, Khando Ballad Chitnis, and many others went to Delhi. They collected the taxes, and the taxes were to be regularly paid to the Marathas. The Maratha royal family was released, and the Maratha army went back to Satara. Shahu Maharaj met his mother Yesubai Sahib after so many years. Now what happened to Farrukh Sir, you may ask? Well, Farrukh Sir was dragged out of his throne into the Darbar. Over there he was blinded. Later he was thrown in the jail, and he was strangled to death in his jail only. So basically a very fast and brutal death. And after Farrukh Sir, Rafi-ud-Darjat was placed on the throne. He was the youngest son of Rafiu Shan, and he had tuberculosis, however, so he died in 3 months itself, and he was succeeded by his older brother Rafi-ud-Daula. Now let's sum up the contribution of Balaji Vishwanath Bhatt Peshwa. Number 1, he rejuvenated the Maratha Empire. After the Maratha Empire broke into 2 states, the Satara state and the Kolhapur state, the Satara state was new. Chhatrapati Shahuji Maharaj was new, and the state had no proper weaponry, no proper resources, no proper territory as well. Whereas the Kolhapur state had everything, the sufficient army, the sufficient money, the sufficient resources, everything. And the Kolhapur state was never going to help the Satara state. That is why Shahu Maharaj had to do everything on his own. But who did it for Shahu? Balaji Vishwanath Bhatt did it for Shahuji Maharaj. He gathered the resources, he strengthened the army, and he sealed the borders of the Maratha Empire. Later, he expanded the Maratha Empire. The dream of Swarajya, the dream of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was alive because of him. Number 2, he freed the Maratha royal family, which was in captivity from 1689 to 1719, and finally Yesubai Sahib could see her son Shahu Maharaj. Number 3, the Mughal Empire now paid the taxes of Chauth and Sardeshmukhi to the Marathas, and those taxes were very useful because in turn they would be used to strengthen the Maratha Empire. And number 4 is that Balaji Vishwanath Bhatt Peshwa left a sort of Maratha mark at Delhi. What was that Maratha mark? Well, since the time of Akbar, no foreign force had entered Delhi. The Marathas were the first foreign force to enter Delhi, the first Indian force to enter Delhi after so many years, and it was also going to be foreign force to rule Delhi. In the year 1737, Bajirao, who was only 18 that time, was going to go and attack Delhi and show the might of the Marathas to the Mughal Empire. And later, Bajirao Peshwa's son, Nanasaheb Peshwa, in his reign, the Marathas would finally rule Delhi and the Mughal emperors would just be puppets. We'll talk about that in a future video. For now, you must have realized, you must have understood the contribution of Balaji Vishwanath Bhatt Peshwa. You must have realized that now the Maratha Empire that was set up by Balaji Vishwanath Bhatt Peshwa was going to expand to its zenith in just a few years.